Okay, so I did my project on cancer and if there's a cure. But just out of curiosity, raise your hand. How many people think there will be in the future, possibly? Yeah. Okay.
It's tough. It's tough.
So what is cancer exactly? Cancer is a term used for diseases in which abnormal cells divide without control and are able to invade other tissues. So that's the basic definition. This picture right here shows these are normal cells, like how normal cells divide, and then these are how cancer cells divide, and you can tell there's a big difference. And there's a video up here that'll show that. Okay, well there was a video. Alright, I guess we'll listen to that somehow.
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't you copy the link up there? We can try it and you can try it in Zoom.
There we go. Okay.
Cell division is essential for healthy growth of an organism, and complex genetic mechanisms have evolved to switch cell division on and off at the proper time for normal development. Cancer happens when cells divide uncontrollably and produce a growing lump or tumor.
That's a tumor.
Some tumors give out chemical signals that prompt the growth of blood vessels to supply them with oxygen and food. A particularly dangerous aspect of cancer is metastasis. Here, small pieces of the tumor break off and travel through the bloodstream to invade other parts of the body.
So this is where it talks about invading other parts. Oh, that's a certain type of cancer. Alright. That's kind of gross. So there's that. The origin of cancer. Its name comes from observation by Hippocrates around 2,300 years ago. It's destined veins that radiate out of some breast tumors. Breast tumors look like the limbs of a crab. So a crab is an astrology sign, so that's where they got the term cancer. All cancers begin in cells, the body's basic unit of life. The DNA of a cell can become damaged or changed, producing mutations that affect normal cell growth and division. When this happens, cells do not die when they should, and new cells form when the body does not need them. The extra cells may form a mass of tissue called a tumor, so that's where you get your tumors from. There's a ton of different types of cancer. There's bladder cancer, lung cancer, breast cancer, colon cancer. There's a bunch. And all different ages can get them. Like, there's certain cancers that are just for kids, that kids get. And there's where they are. Lung cancer is in your lungs, quickly. Breast cancer is in your breasts. They're just basic. Their names go by where they are. Your lymph nodes, those are in your lungs. You can get cancer in your lungs there. Causes of cancer. So these show some different causes. These are causes for guys and causes for girls. Clearly, this one says that tobacco is the most. And over here, this one is more of your diet and tobacco. So you can get it from being overweight, exposure to sun, like tanning, alcohol, radiation, something. So cancer cells. Cancer cells are cells that grow and divide at an unregulated, quickened pace. And this is a picture of one. And then you can tell the difference between normal cells. Normal cells, a membrane-bound structure containing biomolecules such as nucleic acids, proteins, and polysaccharides. So you can tell the difference. And here's comparisons. This is what a normal cell looks like, and this is what a cancer cell looks like. There's difference over here. Large number of dividing cells until they divide differently. The nuclei are shaped differently. The boundaries are different. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about tumors. A tumor, also known as a neoplasm, is an abnormal mass of tissue which may be solid or fluid-filled. And then there's two different types of tumors. There's benign tumors and malignant tumors. Benign tumors aren't cancerous, so if you have those, they can remove them. They can often be removed, and in most cases, they do not come back. So, and then malignant tumors are cancerous. Cells in these tumors can invade nearby tissues and spread to other parts of the body. The spread of cancer from one part of the body to another is called metastasis. So that's the difference between those two. And here's a picture of a tumor where it's forming. There's the normal cells over here. And then this is where the cancer cells divide. So that's how the tumor forms. And here's a picture of a tumor in the colon. So this is like when you have colon cancer. So it grows and just overtakes this part of the body. So you find out you have cancer, what do? Step 1, you learn about your diagnosis, so you find out what you have. Step 2, you find medical care. There's different types of oncologists that study in different types of cancers. And then step 3, you find support and get organized. Make a plan of what you plan to do. Treatments. There's a ton of different types of treatments. Some of them are like specific to your certain type of cancer. Some of them you can have for anything. Chemotherapy, it's also called chemo. It's the most common. It's a type of cancer treatment that uses drugs to destroy cancer cells. So they can give you chemo through like IVs, or they have certain things where you can like take pills that have them. How does it work? Chemotherapy works by stopping or slowing the growth of cancer cells, which grow and divide quickly. But it can also harm healthy cells that divide quickly, such as those that line your mouth and intestines, or cause your hair to grow. So that's why when you have chemo, you lose your hair, because of side effects. Hair loss, fatigue, bone marrow suppression, nausea and vomiting, numbness, tingling, or burning in the hands and feet. Radiation therapy is another type. It uses high energy radiation to shrink tumors and kill cancer cells. This right here, this is the machine. They form like specific things so you're in the same position every time. And they stick you under this machine. And then lights, like laser beams, come out from all different sides, from here, here, and then there's a pinpoint on your body, and it'll treat the cancer using the laser beams. How does it work? Radiation therapy uses high-energy particles or waves to destroy or damage cancer cells. It is one of the most common treatments for cancer. So I actually went in, because my mom first had a cancer place, so I actually went and got to see that happen. So it's kind of cool. Side effects, basically the same thing as chemotherapy. Fatigue, skin irritation from the lasers, because it goes directly under your skin. Targeted therapy, this is another kind. It's not really common. You don't hear about it a lot. It's newer. It's a newer type of cancer treatment that uses drugs or other substances to more precisely identify and attack cancer cells, usually by doing little damage to the normal cells. So this picture is really hard to understand, but it's basically just pinpointing like the specific spots where it. That picture is really hard to understand. There's a cell over here, and then these little things. Targeted therapy drugs do not work the same as standard chemotherapy drugs. They are often able to attack cancer cells by doing little damage to normal cells, by going after the cancer cell's inner workings. These drugs tend to have different and often less severe side effects than traditional chemotherapy drugs. So this is what oncologists are looking towards for the future, because unlike the other treatments, they don't harm the normal cells, so it's healthier for a person's body. Side effects, these are just minimal: dry skin, changes in hair growth, changes in your skin color, nothing really serious. What's best? Radiation therapy is the most common and effective, but targeted therapy causes less damage to a person's normal healthy cells. So like I said, that's the more popular one for the future. Is there a cure? New technologies have proven to be hopeful to finding a cure for cancer. There may not be a cure now, but within the future technologies, anything is possible. So like you all said, you all think there's going to be a cure. And with the more medical, new medical technologies that we make, there's definitely going to be a cure. This is just a thing of proton therapy. I forgot how it works. This video is a guy.
This is the age of knowing what you're made of. Why let erectile dysfunction get in the way?
Sorry. A guy who had cancer recently in the side of a new technology.
Is that, do you have the video on more than once?
It's on 2 slides.
It's on 2 slides, so it's going twice, so you have to.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. Because we're hearing it over and over again.
Get out of there.
Press right click.
Oh no!
Okay, pause.
Some of the tests we've run with this machine.
There we go.
Here we go.
We got it.
Alright.
There.
Well, Harry, we've actually made quite a few advances since even the 60-minute story was filmed. We are now starting to actually do some of the work with adding targeting molecules to these nanoparticles and proving that we can get increased uptake by the cancer cells and even better killing of the cancer cells using John's radiofrequency machine.
And what does this mean to the fight against cancer?
So they're talking about the machine that...
Well, this has an incredible amount of potential. That's all I can really say fairly and evenly at this time. I've never seen anything quite like this, and it has the potential to treat multiple types of cancer. That's what's unique. As you know, most chemotherapy drugs or other treatments are designed for one specific type of cancer. This has the potential to be used to treat multiple types of cancer.
And for folks, I mean, some of this stuff is a little bit complicated. Make it as simple as possible. You put these nanoparticles, little tiny submicroscopic pieces, into an area that's filled with cancer, hit the radio waves, and what happens?
Well, what we have found is a very unique property of these nanoparticles. Frankly, it wasn't even known before we started this work. And what happens is the nanoparticles release heat in the environment just around the particle itself. And as you noted, they're so tiny that that heat release just affects the cells that they're located in this case, the cancer cells.
Wow. Which means with the radio waves and the nanoparticles, the cancer can at least theoretically be eradicated. I want to go to John Kansas. In your wildest imagination, when you first came up with this and you showed
the guy right here
with Leslie Stahl with the hot tub, do you think it would go this far? Did you really believe in your heart this really could be the potential for a cure?
I hope so, and obviously the researchers, while they're cautious, have proven that they can kill 100% tumors in rabbits that they have tested, particularly down at MD Anderson and over with rats at University of Pittsburgh. But to answer your question, I don't think anybody had any idea, including the guy that won a Nobel Prize for nanoparticles, Rick Smalley, that this could ever work the way it's working.
Wow. We thank you both for your time this morning. We will continue to monitor your story, and we thank you so much for your hard work and inventiveness. We'll be right back. You're watching The Early Show on CBS.
Okay, so that talked about that guy and his new invention that will hopefully one day help to cure cancer. I just have some random statistics. So here's the legends over here. The most affected states with cancer is Kentucky. Not by much, by a tenth of a point. So not by much. And then Delaware, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, Maine. We're number 7 on the list. That's not bad. Massachusetts, New Jersey, and New Hampshire. The dark red are less than 525. with all types of cancers, people with cancer. And then the really light are less than 425. I'd assume it's probably 1,000 because there's not a lot. Oh, rates are per 100,000. So there's all the difference. You can tell over here on the northern side and up here is the most, and there's not really very much going on over here on the western side of the U.S. Not completely, but pretty close. So maybe that has something to do with our lifestyle over here, maybe not, but it looks like. Here's another one. These are the number of cases of males and females. So the most in females is breast cancer, and then the most in males is prostate cancer, which is pretty normal. And then there's 26% of women get breast cancer, so that's kind of scary. That's a high percentage. And 29% of men get prostate cancer. So, and then in the deaths, lung cancer seems to be the most for both. So most people die of lung cancer, 31% and 26%, which is scary because that lung cancer can be prevented. So you would think maybe that wouldn't be so high, but I guess if people all stop smoking, it wouldn't be so high. And then there's breast cancer and colon cancer, prostate cancer, and colon cancer again. So I went way too fast. And then this is Dr. Oz talking. I'm sure everyone's seen him talk at some point. So here's some cancer tips.
Introducing Doggy Dentures. Because 4 out of 5 dogs have E3 develop gum disease, and tartar buildup is a contributing factor.
Or new Dentist X Fresh, clinically proven to fight tartar, and now with added ingredients to fight dog breath, too.
There's no right or wrong answer in the use of vitamins to prevent cancer. But I want to tell you what I share with my friends and family. First of all, phytochemicals, like those contained in soy, broccoli, tomatoes, green tea, these are all naturally occurring substances. They seem to neutralize carcinogens before they act on our body. And they also have been demonstrated in animal models to actually prevent cancers. Now, another vitamin that I think highly of is the antioxidant vitamin D. Now, antioxidants are critical to our long-term survival. We have in our bodies numerous antioxidant systems that protect us because all around us, oxidation is occurring. And when oxidation affects our bodies, because oxygen causes oxidation, we need to cleanse ourselves. And sometimes, for whatever reason, either because we're exposed to more oxidants, or because we don't have an adequate diet to deal with them, or because we're on medications that inhibit our immune system or antioxidant system, we don't deal well with these stresses. So vitamin E, which is a very strong antioxidant, is a very important part of my plan because it's incorporated into cell membranes because it's fat soluble and it may lessen the risk of certain cancers. Another important antioxidant is a mineral called selenium. It's used as a catalyst for a lot of the antioxidative enzymes that you have in your body. Without it, you cannot build up a resistance to that oxidative stress. And therefore, you'll end up with a weakened immune system, and you may not be able to defend yourself against cancer. Because remember, your body's always searching for those cancers. It's always killing them. Now, these are my recommendations, but we're all different. So you need to choose how to incorporate these suggestions into your own customized program, keeping in mind your own personal health concerns and the medications that you may be on. Now, our natural immune response continually cleanses our system and kills cancer cells. And that same system can catch up even after a tumor has started to grow. Remember that a complex enemy needs a complex solution. And so here are my solutions. First, make a choice to avoid things that create disease in your life. So get up right now, and throw out that pack of cigarettes. Second, if you're overweight, do something about it. We all know about the problems with being overweight, but very few of us actually make the important steps required to change that. Besides making you feel bad, obesity is a very important risk factor for cancer. Third, if you're a man and you're over 40, you need to have a prostate exam, especially if you have a family history. Remember that if you live long enough, more than half of you will get prostate cancer. And by the way, if you do have prostate cancer, don't panic. It's a really weird tumor. There are a lot of people that I know who have lived 20 years with the diagnosis. It makes you wonder if it's really even a cancer sometimes. And finally, make a choice to bring health into your life. Eat foods that nourish, choose activities that stimulate, spend time with individuals who fill your life rather than drain it. If you or someone that you love is going through treatment, make sure that nutrition, exercise, and meditation are part of that daily routine. Cancer has survivors. Every cancer has a survivor. It's not necessarily a fatal illness. Remember that. Use it as an opportunity for growth. I'm Dr. Oz. Thank you for joining us on Second Opinion. And remember that you can be the world expert on your body, and we can help.
So there's some tips from Dr. Oz on how to prevent cancer.
It's difficult, I know.
But so I know he talked a lot in the video about prostate cancer and how males get it. And I actually went on an internship at my mom's work because she works at Western Urology, and they deal with prostate cancer there. So I got to see some really nasty things, and how they put like these little. I'm done, so I can let you that. But they put like these little gold seeds. They're really nasty, and it's gonna be graphic. But they put little gold seeds up inside a man's butt. Okay. And then they use those for when they do X-rays and stuff, so they can see. So they can see, like on the X-rays, where the cancer is and how it's growing, and they can control it from those little gold seeds. And I saw a biopsy, which was really nasty too. And they go up and take things out so they can observe them. It's just gross. No one wants to go into that. But it's just nasty. How much time do I have?
You should probably go a little bit more.
Okay. Well.
What'd you learn there?
What I learned? Definitely that I don't want to go into prostate cancer because I want to be an oncologist, but I definitely don't want to go into that aspect because it's gross. But I also learned how to do the radiation therapy, and they showed me how to do that and the molds they make, so like every person is in the same position when they come back. And I learned how to use like the computers. It's really technical. You have to be really good at math and science, otherwise you're never going to do it because that's all it is. And I did some x-rays and some stuff like that. It definitely helped me in my future, but not what I want to do. Anyone else have questions?
I was going to ask you if you plan on like going into this field as a career. So.
This field, yes. I want to be a pediatric oncologist. So, but I don't want to do all of the things. I just want to treat the kids with cancer.
Do you know how much schooling it takes to become?
A lot. I think I have to go 7 or 8 years, and then if I want my PhD, I have to go more than that. So I'll definitely be in school and in debt for a long time.
What makes you like that so much?
Recently, cancer's really close to me. Recently, I just lost my aunt, so so it's just something that I have a passion for, and that I want to treat kids with cancer because I feel like I want to make a difference in someone's life, and I love kids, so I knew I wanted to do something with kids and then with cancer too, so that's perfect for me. I'm gonna get emotional.
Any other questions?
Am I good?